You're listening to the Fayetteville 411 podcast, produced by the City of Fayetteville, where you will get information about city government and the programs and services they provide. You'll get topics of interest and an inside look into the various departments that help keep our city moving. I'm John Salling.
And I'm Sherry Kropp. Thanks for joining us for the Fayetteville 411. Today, I'm very excited to be talking about the upcoming Dogwood Festival, which happens the last weekend of April. It's one of the largest festivals that we have here in Fayetteville, but I'm also excited to be talking with Kaylin Suarez. She's the new executive director for Dogwood. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you, Sherry, and thank you, John, for having me. I am very excited. Kind of fell into this role. I had a friend send me the application to apply, and I told him, I said, I wanted to get into a nonprofit. I just don't know what nonprofit I want to be involved in. Something that gives back to the community. So here we are, fast forward.
And wow.
Yes.
I mean, the Dogwood Festival, it doesn't get any bigger than that. So we're excited to see what's going to happen here. So give us a little bit of background.
Yeah, so I am a military spouse like many individuals here, and I love it. We've had a very unique career for my husband. He is a civil affairs officer stationed here for the second time at Fort Bragg, and so we were very excited because before this we were in Miami for about 11 months and then Kuwait for roughly 2 years, and so coming back here just felt like home. We do have 2 little girls. They are fantastic. They're 4 and 5, well, about to be 4 and one's 5. Oh. So we have our hands full. So
yes.
If I'm not busy at the festival, I am busy chasing my 2 princesses at home. But other than that, we love giving back to the community. My husband and I do big community events at our home. We invite strangers. So if you see us in Walmart or Harris Teeter and we're like, hey, you want to come over for a barbecue? It's not weird, we promise. But we have anywhere from 30 to 50 people at our house on a monthly basis just to bring that community together. So now I just get to do it on a much larger scale get paid for it.
Yeah. Well, wonderful.
Fun. Yeah.
All right. And so what are the dates of this festival here coming up? And tell us some about your big opening event.
Yeah, so that is a great question. The festival is happening April 25th through the 27th, and we do have a pre-event called Cork and Fork happening April 24th. That one is ticketed, but the festival itself is free to attend. Unless you're going to the Midway, want a turkey leg, or trying to get something that you see something through one of our vendors. But other than that, the music's free to listen to. Come set up on the lawn unless you buy best seats in the house. But it's a great event to be at when you think about how much things cost going out with family or friends. And, this is one of those events where you just pay to eat and pay to drink and sit down and have a good time.
What more do you need, right?
Exactly.
Right. And the proceeds go towards a good cause.
With a Dogwood Festival, we are a nonprofit, so everything that you see, this is funded by the Dogwood Festival, and we're very thankful for the city to provide us the park and different utility services, so that way it cuts costs tremendously. So people always ask, they're like, oh, well, Dogwood's raising all this money from the sponsors, where does it go? Well, I'll tell you. The festival costs about $150,000 just to fund for those 3-day events. And once upon a time, the Dogwood Festival used to be 10 days. So I can't even imagine what that bill looks like.
I can't either.
But yeah, so we put on this festival for the community. We have a third party that brings us acts, and we try to do it within our budget. Now, if we had a tremendous budget, could you imagine who we would bring? But right now, it just relies on the sponsorships that we get for the festival. So if anybody's listening and wants to be a sponsor next year, you can always email me or find me on Facebook for the Fayetteville Dogwood Festival page.
Now, does the Cork and Fork, what day does that happen on?
So that is April 24th, and part of our ticket sales go towards Offered Outreach, which Stacy Buckner is an amazing human being.
Yes.
I cannot sing her praises enough. But 20% will go to her ticket sales, and there's a room for more. So that just relies on how many tickets we sell. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, you go to the Fayetteville Dogwood page. You can message me. There's also links posted on our page. And with those ticket sales, it covers basically once you get in, you don't pay for anything. So the cigar rolling class is included in your ticket price, and Anna Steads, one of our sponsors, is donating that class. And then we have different downtown businesses and local eateries that are donating tapas style for their menu, so that way you get a little taste of everybody down there. We have 2 different wineries that will be coming out to do wine tastings, so you'll have your fill of that. The signature drink for the evening is sangria.
I love sangria.
Same. So we did this. It's all about me. It's something that I enjoy, and my husband and I, we make that for our friends. So we wanted to have this opportunity to provide that for everybody in the community. We want everybody to feel like they're coming over to our house, essentially, and feel that comfort, but have a good time and dress up at the same time. Now, Dan Nielsen is also coming. He is a fantastic painter. He'll be doing a live painting of Cork and Fork, and we'll auction that painting off then and there. So there's no waiting to take it home. And part of those proceeds will go back to off-road outreach. 50% of those that auction price will go back to off-road outreach. Mm-hmm. So you can have this beautiful painting of a night where you had a great time and support somebody in the process. But off-road outreach is also putting together a silent auction. So they'll have some fantastic things, and I've heard a few of the snippets, and I know which ones I'll be bidding on. But it is a kid-friendly event. It's a dress up, come out, have a good time. Live music by Nicholas Vernon, who he won Carolina Country Male Vocalist of the Year for 2024. So he very talented. Great beard, by the way. So he'll be out there having a good time. We've got a lot of our sponsors that will be in attendance as well, and it's just a night to have something different here in Fayetteville. It's kind of like our own wine and food festival, but for a night.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make it a big thing one time, but right now it's just for a night of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
A lot of fun and a lot of variety there.
It is,
yeah.
And there'll be more. But that's the all set in stone things as of right now.
Okay. And talking about that more a little bit, what are some more of the types of activities and events we're going to see during Dogwood?
Yes. So I'm very passionate about anything that has to do with kids or children. And one of the big important pieces for me was making sure that there was something free for kids to do. Because when you've got one kid, it's feasible. But when you've got 2, 3, 4, in a military town, that it happens. I'm the oldest of 5 personally, but you want something where everybody feels like I can go out and do something and not have to tell my kid no. So KG Inflatables is partnering with us, and they're donating all the inflatables in the kids zone. Kids can go play for free. Doesn't cost anything. So let them bounce it out, grab a beer from Healy's, and go, let them have a good time while you just sit and relax. So that is one of the big changes that's happening in the festival, because in the past it's been a ticketed thing. And while tickets are great and it does help us for future events, sometimes it's more about what we can give than what we can get. So the kids area being free, we will have the BMX bike crew back. They'll be doing some stunts for us. We have 2 different WWE style wrestling setups happening. So one will be on Saturday, one will be on Sunday. So you'll get a variety of different action going on. But with all of that, the car show is coming back, and that will be down on Person Street. I'm very excited about that, and the businesses down there are very thrilled as well. But we will also have Axes and Armor out there with their mobile hatchet. That will be something for people to do. Personally, I love that. Did it while I was pregnant with my first. Fantastic hobby. Cannot recommend it enough. But there is something for everybody here outside of those events. That's just a taste that will be happening. We have about 25 to 28 food trucks in place. So if you cannot find food, that's on you. You are officially the picky eater in the bunch. But we will have over 128 vendor spots that will be filled, and potentially more as we expand. So we are trying to make sure that there is something for everybody, that everybody feels seen, they feel heard, and there's somebody there that they know and they would like to support.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the footprint of the festival? I know you said Person Street.
Yeah.
That's where the car show will be. I know in the past some of the BMX bikes have been on Hay Street. I don't know if that's where they're going to be this year.
Fantastic question.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing some around Person, Gillespie, and Green, and then we'll come down Hay Street, Ray, and then, of course, Festival Park. And then right across Festival Park, of course, we have the Midway.
Right.
And its typical spot, because where else are you going to put a Midway down here? But the BMX will be down towards Green or Gillespie. Haven't picked which side yet, but it'll be down that way. And then the WWE will be more towards the 300 and 400 block. So there's something on both ends, just for activity purposes. So that way no matter what side you're on, if you have a family member that doesn't want to shop with you, they have something to watch. So.
And it's a great way for families to explore downtown Fayetteville.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people that come downtown, but they don't go on Person Street, or
Yes.
they might not go over on this side on Franklin Street. So that's a great way to get people out.
That's our goal, because if we're gonna, for us personally, if we're gonna shut the streets down, I want to make it worthwhile. And what a lot of people don't understand is that while you can't park downtown and you've got to find your parking around the footprint, when you're walking, you find all these nooks and crannies where they've got different stores that normally you wouldn't see.
Yeah.
So whether you're finding Turner Lane, Greg's Pottery, or you've made a trip down to Person Street and found something new. So I highly encourage people to walk the whole footprint so they get to see a little something for everybody.
Find more of those hidden gems of downtown here.
Yes.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Distinctly Fayetteville's been great about highlighting some of those little hidden gems. And for us coming back this second time, there's new places for us to find out. So that's been a trip for me as well. But we're super pumped about how the layout is looking this year and how it will affect with minor tweaks and changes, so that way it makes everybody feel included.
A little more about our musical performances, what people can look forward to.
So with the musical performances, that is always going to be the biggest expense. A lot of people don't understand how much production costs versus how much a artist might cost. So when we're crunching numbers, initially we were looking at about $85,000 for the cost, and that includes production and music artists. That is a lot to a nonprofit, but it's not a lot when you're looking at who's coming in and who's playing. So with that, I had talked to some local bands, and Guy Unger has been my right hand talking to local bands, and we're like, hey guys, as much as we would love to do XYZ, we need community support. And the first bands to step up were the Simple Tones, the Guy Unger group, Fear State, and Echo Stone. All of those bands were like, we will donate our time because this is home for us and we want to see something successful.
Awesome.
That is very heartwarming. So I'm more pumped about the local nights than I am anything else. So Friday night we'll have the Simple Tones open, then we'll have Fear State, and then we'll have Echo Stone. All three of those bands have ties to Fayetteville. This is home for them, and this is their way of giving back. So anytime you see their name pop up, I encourage you to please go support them because they are doing a big saving us in a big way. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And that's the nicest way to say it, because there's no secret that, the Dogwood Festival has had its ebbs and flows. And right now we are going on an uphill, and a lot of that comes down to community support. So I am very thankful for them because they've saved a big chunk of our budget. Now, moving on to Saturday night, we have Nicholas Vernon. He'll be opening. The Guy Unger Band will be playing. And then we have Josh Ross and Drew Baldridge. Those are our two headliners. Now, while I am not a big country fan, for me to know a song from any of them was a big deal. So I was like, oh, okay, so they're legit. They're making top hits. Drew Baldridge is very popular for a wedding song as Somebody's Daughter. That, if you haven't heard that song, it'll make you cry. I know a lot of people are excited about Josh Ross. A couple of events we've set up tables for this weekend. That was the first person they were like, hey, when can we buy best seats? And I'm like, all right, we made a good choice. So I'm excited for the Saturday night lineup. And then on Sunday, we have the Phoebes, who personally is one of my favorite bands. They're based out of Raleigh. They are showstoppers. So I'm super excited to have them here. And then some of the community might have heard them at Dirtbags. So they've played a couple of times there. And after the Phoebes go on, we have Throwback Collaboration, which is a local fave, and a lot of people are pumped about them, and it will be my first time seeing them, so I'm excited. But the music lineup, there is something for almost everybody, and while I would love to have genres from all across the board to fill my, playlist heart, because if you listen to my playlist, it does not make sense.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, this is what we have. This is what I'm excited about. When you start planning in December, because that's when I got hired, and you have 3 months to plan, I feel like we've done a pretty darn good job.
Sounds like it.
So-
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot. I'm excited about that.
It's a lot.
Because the musical performances are always the biggest draw.
Yes.
Where can you go out and enjoy an evening of music for no cost?
Exactly.
Right?
And some of these bands that are playing now, if there is something not at our festival, we will have highlighted on our website and this week about other events happening. So like 2 Chainz is playing on Saturday at the Crown Coliseum. Then there's also a couple of other festivals that are happening around the area. So we will be highlighting those so people know, like, hey, if you don't find something here, we promise we can help you find something somewhere. So again, it's about community, and a lot of people have put in a lot of work all around town, and we want to make sure we highlight that too. So if you don't like what we got somebody that does.
Many reasons to come to town that
Yes,
weekend.
exactly. Tons.
And Kaylin, as we're talking about the musical performances that are going to happen down here in Festival Park,
Yes.
what should people know as far as park rules go?
Yes, so with park rules, obviously the only guns you're bringing are the ones on your arms. We're not bringing any weapons in of any sort. That's something that's super important for us because we want to keep everybody safe and sound. This is a family community event. If you are bringing your vapes, as long as that's the only thing and you're respectful and you're not smoking it in the park, because there's technically no smoking in the park, take it outside of the park. And don't bring in your own alcohol. Healy's has been kind enough to make sure we have a variety of choices.
Down there, yes. Yeah.
So that, or visit one of our downtown restaurants, because there's something. I promise you, somebody has something you like. But no dogs will be allowed in the park unless it's a service animal. It's not just a safety issue. There might be, it's very close quarters. We don't want somebody to get riled because at the end of the day, an animal's an animal, and we want to make sure we protect them as much as we protect everybody else.
Right.
So there's just a lot of things that go into a big thought process when you're planning a festival of this size. All of the rules will be posted. We'll have different posters up so people can't say, I didn't know. It'll be on social media. It will also be on our website. So if I missed anything, I promise it will be covered somewhere.
Right.
Sure.
And so people can bring in their chairs and blanket.
Absolutely. There will be a section of Festival Park where people can go sit and enjoy. If you don't want to pay for best seats, if you're okay with sitting, somewhere as a family of 4 personally, we're the type of family that brings that picnic blanket and sits down and makes it home wherever we're at.
Right.
I encourage that for families.
Yeah.
If you are wanting one of the tickets to best seats, those go on sale, and that is more of like for the stage goers, like the true fans, or maybe the people that just don't want to put their butt on the dirt, and that's okay. I will gladly take your money to support us.
The ones that want to be right up there in the front.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But really, from anywhere in the park, you have a very good view of the stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anywhere you sit is great.
Yes, Festival Park stage is actually one of the larger stages here in Cumberland County, so you cannot miss it, whether you're at the top of the hill or you're down by the sponsors towards the front. Like you'll be able to hear and see it. So yes.
Very well set up for that. And with all that planning that you're talking about and everything that's going on, I bet you guys need a lot of volunteers.
Yes. So
where can people go?
they can go on to our Facebook page and they can either message us. We have posted the link once already, and we've got quite a few more sponsors than I anticipated. So I'm very excited. And obviously other people are, so that makes me happy. But we'll be posting the link again on Wednesday of this week. We'll post it again the following Wednesday. So up until the Wednesday before the event, you can go to Wednesday post essentially and see it, and be good to go there.
Awesome. All right.
Yep, as long as there's different things for people to volunteer on. So just make sure that whatever you do, whether you're volunteering or you're just going to the festival, that you bring your sunscreen and the most comfortable walking shoes you have. It is not a time to wear brand new shoes.
No.
Yes.
And I know Dogwood Festival is also going to bring back the Fayetteville After 5 this year. Talk a little bit about that. That's something I'm really excited about because me and my husband enjoyed going out every week and listening to some of the music out in the park. So talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the After Fives are coming back. It'll be the 3rd Friday of the month. It is a family-friendly event. So there's going to be free music for people to listen to. There will be different food trucks set up. We'll have about 3 to 5 food trucks that will be set up. We'll, of course, have our beer sales from Healy's Wholesale. We will work with other vendors to set up. On June, we have the Camel City Yacht Club. They'll be playing. They're a yacht rock group. They are fantastic. Some of our board is very excited about it. And with July, we have the Eagles Tribute Band coming, and they'll be setting up and playing. On the Border is
Love
their name,
them. Yeah.
and everybody has asked about them. So I was like, well, I guess we have to have them. But there will be our July band. And in August, we'll be setting up with people that are in education, whether you're a teacher, you're a coach, you work custodial, it doesn't matter. If you touch the education world in some form or fashion, those are the bands we'll be bringing in, because this is going to be a back to school bash for adults. So we want people to feel seen, and there'll be different vendors that will cater to the educators world to make sure, like, hey, if you need last minute this or last minute that, maybe you need a break. Whatever the case is, we want to make sure we have something there for them. But it's more of a way to tie in, like, hey, you can do this 9-to-5 job and still have time for whatever passion it is that you have, because at the end of the day, you've got to find something that makes you happy. And a lot of these educators have given up some of those passions to teach and mold the minds of many. And this is just their way to cut loose before they go back into all of that. So August will be a very unique after 5 for us.
Nice.
Very
And you
fun.
need volunteers for the Fayetteville After 5s as well,
Yes,
right?
we will
Okay.
need volunteers, because that will be all hands on deck. I will be taking up trash myself, but it will be one of those where we will rely very heavy on our volunteers.
As far as big takeaways that you want to make sure people get out of this podcast here and where they can go for more information, what are we looking at?
Yeah, so the best place to go will always be the Fayetteville Dogwood Festival Facebook page. That is where I'm posting most up-to-date information. The website does take a couple of days to update on occasion, so I want to make sure people know social media will have the most accurate info. With all of that, the biggest takeaways that I have for people here is that I promise you'll enjoy it. And if you have any questions, you can always message me on the Fayetteville Dogwood page. I will gladly answer. And again, Facebook is the quickest way to reach me. So we're hoping for good weather, and we'll all enjoy it together.
Well, you certainly have hit the ground running, and we appreciate it.
I'm trying.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you both, Sherry and John, and the city of Fayetteville.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Fayetteville 411. The Fayetteville 411 is one of several podcasts that the city produces for our podcast channel, Radio Fayetteville. Be sure to subscribe to Radio Fayetteville on most of your favorite streaming platforms.
You can also listen to every podcast that Radio Fayetteville has to offer by downloading the FayTV streaming app, available now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV. You can view all of our video content by visiting faytv.net. To get information about city services, go to our webpage at fayetteville.nc.gov. Thanks for joining us.